came across my my email, and it really made me jump. You know, we all get information on so many issues, and for some reason this one really got to me. There are a lot of Canadians who feel really, really strongly about this, and thank you very much for coming together to represent that to Christy Clark. We're going to get this message to her. We're going to send her a ton of pictures. We're going to try and host something down at the legislature when she gets back to the country to try and get a personal delivery to her of the petitions from both Leave Now and Avaz. And we'll just keep pushing with the help of everyone who's signed on and come out. And hi, Jody.
I'm Jody Emery. I'm the wife of Mark Emery. He's a Canadian activist who's imprisoned in the United States right now on a 5-year sentence for selling cannabis seeds and using that money for law reform in the United States. And while we see American states moving forward with progressive drug policy, getting rid of mandatory minimums, reducing their use of imprisonment to solve the crime problem, Canada under Harper is going the opposite direction, 20 years back into the U.S. history when they started the war on drugs, and we're going to see the same failure, the expensive loss of people's lives, the destructions of communities, of minorities, the bankrupting of our treasuries, and the handover of our tax dollars to corrupt prison industries. And we can't follow that U.S. example. I've seen the private prisons and the prisons run by the government, and they are wrong and destroying lives. And my husband is going to be there until 2015. I don't want him to come home to Canada where we have a U.S.-style drug war and the mass devastation that it'll cause. So let's work to get our honorable premier elected officials to represent what Canadians believe, and that is that we are a country of progress, of tolerance, of compassion, not of hurting people, destroying people's lives, and harming peaceful, non-violent people.
I am a civilian volunteer with Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and we are here because we are opposed to mandatory minimums for drug crimes. I could tell you that mandatory minimums don't work, but that would be being far too kind. They are so destructive that one of the primary authors of the American mandatory minimum sentences came to the Senate to testify against them, to tell Canada, do not do this.
So even if this bill passes, and that's not a done deal yet, but even if it passes, we're going to keep working, particularly at the provincial levels, to undo the damage that's being done at a national level. Even if it passes at a national level, the fight's still not over. We're going to work with a variety of other groups, creating the conditions where we can roll back any damage that's being done at the national level. So I just wanted to tell you guys that this is a beginning, this is not an end, and to thank you all so much for coming. Thank you.
Yeah, from my experience, the children who end up in jail, they are poor, and they are also Aboriginal and also colored people. And so it's a really biased against certain groups of people. So I'm afraid when I'm seeing Christy Clark cutting all the prevention services.
And I'd like to know where she thinks we're going to get this extra money to run these jails. The cost to the provinces is outrageous, which is why Quebec and Ontario have said no to this. They won't support it. So I think we want to see some answers from Christy about like where are you going to get this money from? Or like what kind of services are you planning on cutting, and how much more cuts to education and healthcare is she planning to make this go through?
I'm Sam. I've got a really good friend who was having a hard time. He was working for a while, got very stressed out, turned to drink a lot, got into drugs and OxyContin, started forging prescriptions, got caught, went before a judge, was about to face jail time, got a suspended sentence and went home. He's straightened himself out, got a job, and just had a little girl yesterday morning, gave birth, and he's been clean for 2 years now. And he would have been in jail under these new laws. So I'd like to oppose this on that basis.
The petition is still on, so you can still forward it to your friends. I think there are over 97,000 as of this weekend. See if we can hit 100,000, and there will be deliveries today and tomorrow across the country to the other premiers as well. We're just going to keep trying to make noise.